Hi, I'm Todd Ale. This is a video for Virtual Sheet Music, and we are going to discuss the Meditation from the opera Thais by Jules Massenet. This is a late 19th century work. It's an incredibly romantic work, very popular by itself. Not the opera, I mean. So this is one of those pieces that every violinist plays at some point. And so what my goal is here is to talk you through it, maybe give you some ideas on, well, specifically on intonation, how to find your notes, maybe some phrasing ideas. We'll discuss rhythm in a few spots because it's challenging, okay? So first, let's talk about the shifting in this piece. I find that most of my students are out of tune. If they're going to be out of tune, it's in a shift and they'll miss. So some of these things you might think are not that challenging, but perhaps you need to think it through. So let's go through several of them. I'm using Fabrizio Ferrari's edition, available here on Virtual Sheet Music, and it has the measures numbered, and if you'll get that, you can follow along with me. I'm going to start, if you look at measure 6, going into 7, he has a shift from first to third position on the final note of measure 6. An alternate fingering would be to see measure 43. It's the same thing, but he doesn't do the shift on the final note there. He shifts in 44. Now some people will say, and I think this is actually good, is that if you're going to do the same thing twice, do it a little different. The idea is to keep it fresh and be more expressive. There are a few things, though, that we can talk about with this shift. One is, a couple of rules of shifting are shift on half steps, and another would be shifting on bow changes. These are obviously rules we can break, but if you can do one or both of those, it can make the shift quieter, assuming you want it to be quiet. Sometimes you turn it into an expressive device. But in bar 6, if I do the shift from the C sharp to D, I may hear a little noise, and that doesn't really bother me, but I think I will shift on the downbeat of measure 7 instead. So my fingering is all in first position through bar 6, and then I shift up to a 3 on my F sharp. This is exactly what's written at measure 44, if you're not quite understanding me. So we put this shift in a bow change, and we can hide it completely. Now what I want you to do is, when you shift up, if you look at my hand frame, I had B to C sharp and D natural, but when I shift up, I'm going to an F sharp. So I have to think space, space. Even if I don't keep them down, my hand pattern would have been whole step, half step, and when I go to third position, I have whole, whole. So I really need to open the hand up through the shift. Now make sure you don't squeeze. Now the next shift is coming right up. It's in measure 8 on the downbeat, which says on A string. So it's taking us to the 5th position there on that F sharp. So I have D sharp, this is the end of bar 7, to 5th position, and I put my thumb right in the neck joint. And you should practice that. Play an F sharp in first position on the E string, and then in 5th position, and see if you can hit it over and over, so that way you know exactly what you want to feel. Another important thing is that you need to be high enough or far enough around that you can reach your 4th finger. You don't want to do a shift and then have to